One of the most important parts of the Autumn Pines quilt is to make sure that you cut your background pieces out perfectly. And you put your TRP lines on so you can match up all the pieces when you're assembling the quilt all together. If you don't cut those out just right, or don't put your TRP lines on, you'll have trouble being successful when you assemble your quilt. So that's what this video is all about today. So let's get to cutting, and I'll show you some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to make this an easier process so you can be successful, and it will go together a lot easier if you do this right the first time.
If you're just joining me in this video, make sure you check out the whole Autumn Pines series. There's a link in the description below. Okay, now let's get to the video.
Today we're going to cut out our T templates and we're going to put on the TRP lines for the background fabric. So refer to your pattern on page 6 right here, cutting instructions for your T templates C1 through C6, and that's fabric C1. That's going to be the background fabric. We're also going to be using page 16. We're going to cut out our T templates for D1 and D2, which these are the outer border pieces. And if you remember when we cut our fabrics back in the second video, we cut out a piece of fabric for D1, which is the same as the background fabric. What I have on the table here is this fabric here is my outer border, and this is fabric D1. Then this is my C1 fabric, and here's also my D1 fabric, which is the same as the background fabric. And then I've got all my templates cut out. If you remember, we just roughly cut these out when we cut out our papers in the first video. And today I'm going to show you how to place those on our fabric, and we're going to basting stitch on the TRP lines like we did for the background fabrics on the diamond wedding ring. We're going to glue these onto the fabric, baste our TRP lines, and then we'll cut the fabrics out after that. So follow along with me and I will show you how I get this done, and we'll be one step closer to finishing up our quilt. We're going to start cutting our fabric C1, and that's going to be with all of the T templates C1 through C6. Now, I can tell you that I did go ahead and iron my background fabric because I want it to be nice and flat, and a lot of these templates had creases through them. So I went ahead and ironed my templates on the back side with a iron with no steam. If you use steam, it'll curl up your papers and it will make them distorted. So what I'm going to refer to, or refer you to, is the graphic that's on page 6 here. I've got both pieces of C1 stacked on top of each other, and they're laid out full length. They're not folded in half. And we're going to lay out the templates along this diagram. So follow along here while I get these laid out. Oh, and I did want to say that really the only supplies you need is some repositionable glue and a rotary cutter with a nice sharp blade. And you might want to have a smaller ruler, like a 3.5 inch by 12.5 inch, just to cut some of these straight lines that are on our templates. Otherwise, most of them are curved seams. Okay, moving along here. These are your two 16-inch strips out of your C1 fabric. And if you notice on the paper, if you've ever made any clothing, they all have a line on here that tells you to put these across the grain line. When you have your fabric laid out from selvage to selvage, that's the straight of grain. So you want to make sure that you are laying your pieces so this line right here goes along the straight of grain. Otherwise, you might get a little bit of bias and stretching in your fabrics if you don't have them oriented the right way. So you want to make sure that you place them as appropriate. They design the pattern specifically to make sure that these pieces are oriented correctly using the correct bias of the fabric. Okay, so once you have them all laid out, make sure that they're not overlapping each other or coming off the edge of the fabric, because you want to make sure you have a full piece. But I'm just going to go ahead and use my repositionable glue stick and put some glue on the back of these bad boys and glue them down to the fabric. Now that I have these all glued down, what I'm going to do is just cut out these pieces of fabric roughly like I did the paper template. Then I'm going to take them over and sew with a basting stitch, probably like a 3.0 or 3.5 along all of these TRP lines. And then we'll come back and we'll cut exactly on these outside lines. Remember, there's two pieces of fabric, so we want to keep those two pieces of fabric together, and we're going to sew the basting stitches between both layers. I'll meet you at the sewing machine. We're here at the sewing machine and I've got my first template here, and there's 5 TRP lines. So what I'm going to do is I've got my machine set at a 3.5 stitch length. I've got the needle right in the center. It doesn't really matter what color thread you use. I'm using a high contrast thread here so you can see the threads once I get done sewing. And I'm going to start at the inside and I'm just going to sew right off the edge of the template. And we'll do that with all of these lines, with all of the templates. I'll finish sewing this line. You just want to keep it right on that line. And I will meet you when they're all done. I finished sewing all of my TRP lines and I'm back at the cutting table now, and we're just going to use our ruler and our rotary cutter and we're going to cut these exactly on the outside line here. And I use the same technique when I'm trimming my blocks at the end. I like to use a ruler that has a 1/4 inch marking. This one happens to have a dash line. I like that. And what I will do is I'll put my ruler down on one of these straight lines and I will match that 1/4 inch dash line with this inside of the 1/4 inch seam allowance line. And what that does is it lines up the outside of the ruler exactly with that outside line. It's a lot easier to match that inside line than it is trying to match the ruler on this outside line. So I'm using my rotating mat here. One of the reasons that I like to put the basting stitches on before I cut them down to the final piece is that it helps hold them together. If you're just put these templates down onto the paper and tried to cut everything out and then take them over to the machine and sew the basting stitches, you have a chance while you're carrying them from one to the next, dropping them, or the fabrics don't match up exactly. So this way it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It keeps paper lined up on both layers of fabric, and it also allows you to put the basting stitches on both pieces. And when we pull these basting stitches out, especially on a lighter fabric, you're going to be able to see those holes that the basting stitch left. I'm going to go ahead and finish trimming all these out. I'll put it on time lapse, and then when we're done with these pieces, I'm going to show you how to cut the outer border pieces with the D fabrics and a couple little things that you need to pay attention on. And then that should finish up cutting out the T templates and basting the TRP lines. And then our last and final block will be the next video, which is the D1 and D2 blocks, which are the outer that have all the multiple colors in them with the 2-inch strip. Here are all of the templates cut out. You can see there's 2 pieces each, and we've got them cut out exactly along that outside black line, and these are going to be ready to go when we assemble our quilt. Now let's dive into the D border units. I just wanted to point out a couple things here. You have a template D1, D2, and D3. Now don't accidentally mess up the D2 and D3 pieces. They look very similar, but one is obviously a little bit bigger than the other. So make sure when you're cutting your fabrics that you are utilizing the correct T template. So the D3 template is what we're going to use to cut the same fabric as our background. And then D2 and D3 are what we're going to use to cut out our outside border templates. So for the D1 template, or actually this is D1 fabric, but the D3 template, we need to cut 8 pieces, but they only give you 1 template. So what I am going to do is, since I have a batik fabric, and you can do the same thing with cotton fabric, just would cut your strip in half and make sure that the right sides are up, but I'm going to fold it into 4ths. So I should be able to fit 1 template here, and then if I flipped it over, I can fit another template there. So I'm going to use my repositionable glue here to glue this down. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces here, and then I'll flip it over and cut another 4 pieces there. Again, this is the grain line. You want to make sure that you have all of your sides covered. And I'm going to very loosely, like an 1/8 inch of a way, cut out. But I'm not going to go all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and this way. So that way I can now flip this over. And so I'll cut this corner. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing all 8 pieces at the same time, you could go ahead and do your 4, put your basting stitch in, then take the basting stitch out and come back and cut the other 4 pieces. Just depends on how comfortable you are with cutting multiple layers. I feel fairly comfortable cutting all 8 layers out. So there's 1 TRP line. I'm going to go sew that, and then we'll come back and cut this out along the outside line. Okay, I've sewn my basting stitch and I have all 8 layers here. Grab my rotating mat, and it makes it a little bit easier. And since I have a nice sharp blade, I'm going to go ahead and use my 45mm. Usually when I cut multiple layers of fabric, I like to use my 60mm, but this is a brand new blade. It should slice right through all of these, and it does. Make sure you cut this little corner off here. This is a smart corner, and they put these on the patterns. It helps with eliminating a lot of the bulk and helps you match up your pieces a little bit better. A little more difficult on a curve with all these layers. Just go slow. Make sure you're getting a nice accurate cut. All of these pieces should be right side up, so if you're not using batik fabrics, if you do the multiple layers like this, just make sure that all of your pieces are right side up. Okay, there we go. That's what she looks like. Now we're ready to cut out our T template D2 and D1, and this is going to be the outer border of the quilt. And if you refer to page 16 for templates D1 and D2 with fabric D2, we need to cut 12 pieces of template D1, which is this one here, D1, and then we need to cut 8 pieces of D2, which is this one here. And we also need to have 3 9 3/4 inch strips, which we would have cut out when we cut our fabrics. There's 3 layers of fabric. The way they have them laid out here, there's 1 2 3 4 cut on the 3 layers, and it looks like they cut out 12 of the D2s as well, but we only need 8 of those. I think what I'm going to do is we'll cut these triangles out. Cut this excess off over here. We're just rough cutting these. I'm not cutting on the solid lines just yet. Then we'll take this piece and we'll rotate it around this way. That gives us 6 pieces. This will give us 9. And we should get 1 more angle out of this. Ooh, just barely, but we're gonna make it with about a 1/2 inch to spare. And again, these templates are on the fabric that's right side up. Okay, I am not gonna cut through all 12 at once. I think, oh, you gotta be kidding me. This last group of 3 was a little bit shorter. So right now I have 9. I'll be able to use 1. All right. These last 2 pieces are too small, so I'll have to get some more fabric. Luckily, I had enough of this fabric that's extra, so I'll have to cut 2. We just need 2 more for these bigger templates. I don't need any more for the smaller template. You need to make sure that you have exactly 42 inches. Mine was a little bit short, so measure your fabric before you start cutting. I'm going to cut in between these 2. I'm going to do 2 sets of 4 on this template, and right now with these, I'll probably do sets of 4 with these as well, just so it's not so thick. So I'll go sew the TRP lines, and then we'll come back and trim these all around the outside lines. I'll have to get more fabric for myself. So make sure that if you look at this diagram, see how they have the template all the way to the corner there and all the way to the corner there. So that uses that whole strip. So I just didn't measure. I think I started a little bit further in than the very edge of the fabric, and that's why I was a little bit short over here. So just be careful. Make sure you're all the way at the edge of both sides and able to get all 4 of these template D1. And if you don't cut them out like that, then you're going to make the same mistake that I did, which sometimes happens, is you're going to need to get some more fabric, or luckily for me, I have more of this fabric because this came from my stash. So I will meet you back here after I have all of those basting stitches sewn, and I'll meet you back here when we're all done. I just wanted to show you here, I have 4 of the D2 templates done, and in order to go and do the next 4, I need to take out the basting stitch. And I don't know if you can see this in the video, but you can see the dots that the needle made. So I'll still be able to see that TRP line when I go to sew the quilt together. Since I used repositionable glue, I can take this off and get my stack of 4 more, and I'll go put the basting stitch on there and cut this 4 out. That'll give me the 8. I'm almost done fixing my little mistake. I just wanted to show you now that I've got the template cut out. Look, I'm literally just that much short. And then I cut out a piece here. I was about just less than 1/4 inch shy. Don't be afraid to make sure that when you lay out your fabric on your strip, that you put your template, just pretend that this is the edge of the strip. Make sure you put your template as close to that edge like that. So you make sure that the same thing doesn't happen to you when you get to the end of your fourth triangle that you're going to be that much short. Your strip needs to be exactly 42 inches. If it's shorter than that, then you're not going to have enough fabric. Just wanted to show that it wasn't a major significance, but I didn't pay attention when I laid my first triangle out to make sure that it was as close to the left edge of the fabric. I was in probably about an inch or so further from this. Like I was, say this was the selvage edge here, I was that far out. And what made this have such a drastic effect. There's template D1, template D2, template D3, and these are templates C1 through C6. So now we've got all those cut out. We've got one more sewing to do, but I just wanted to show you like how is this all coming together. We've already made our A1. These were the diamond wedding arcs. Then our last video we did the feathered star units, which is BR and BL. And then all of the C1 through C6, C1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these all get sewn together to make the center section of the quilt. And then the D3 template that we just cut goes here. And then the D1s are along the outside, which is the very outside border. And you've got some D2s that are also in the outside border. As you can see, we've done just about all of these pieces except for D1 here and D2. And that's some more strip piecing that we'll do in the next video. And then we'll be able to start assembling this beautiful quilt. Thanks so much for following along with my video series. I hope you're enjoying this, and I'm excited to see what some of your quilts look like. Please let me know in the comments below if you're following along with me, or if you're making a different quilt, and if this is your first QuiltWorks quilt, or if you're a seasoned Judy junkie like a lot of us are. Take care, happy sewing. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next video.